Welcome to John Gillespie's Waters and Woods. Today, Maddie B is going to teach us some fall techniques for largemouth bass.
Fleet Farm presents John Gillespie's Waters and Woods. Fleet Farm, the ultimate fishing headquarters.
Yes, folks, a little frost on the pumpkin this morning. We're into October now, and all summer long, Matt, you and I have talked about fishing weed edges, down here in southeastern Wisconsin. But once you get the frost on the ground in October, you start looking for weed flats.
Yep, what happens, John, is you get a lot of fish transitioning from their summer patterns. Now that we've been cold for a while now, the fall hit quick and the water's dropping pretty faster than normal, I would say. And a lot of the bait fish are going to migrate to these weed flats and shallower, and the game fish follow them.
Well, Blake, we're fishing bass today, which you love to do, but it's not only the bass that go into the weed flats, it's the pike, the walleye, all of them. Huh?
Yeah, absolutely. Pike, walleye, largemouth, smallmouth, all game fish will follow me, even the muskies.
You'll have fun today. You like this bass fishing.
I love bass fishing, especially with Maddie B.
Yeah, no, he's a lot of fun to fish with. Hey, folks, we'll show what we're using and how we're using it. All of that coming up right after this. Folks, I'll tell you what, AMSOIL is the sportsman's best friend. They've got a product to keep all your machines running well. Pete, my bow mount is sticky, it makes noise, and AMSOIL has a product to fix that.
Yeah, and you should have been using it. Silicone spray is recommended for the shaft and the belt on these trolling motors. You see this belt? This is what makes the motor travel up and down. So what you want to do is spray the whole shaft itself. Get a good coating on that. You want to spray the belt here on the backside as well. Once it dries, it lubricates, and it also protects the belt itself. It keeps it from cracking and drying out, and it also resists dust and dirt. One other thing, these locking pins, recommend a little bit of AMSOIL synthetic water-resistant grease. Those are two things that's just going to make this motor work much more smoother and last a lot longer.
Again, it's called?
AMSOIL Silicone Spray.
Go to AMSOIL.com.
AMSOIL.com.
Meet Chris McGillis of McGillis Weimer, experienced personal injury lawyers.
A lot of the people that watch your show, those are the type of customers and clients that we have, right? Good people, care about their community, they're passionate about the outdoors. That's just been a way to have a bond with somebody in a relationship. To truly tell a client's story to a jury or a judge and be persuasive, I really think you got to be able to walk in their shoes and be able to explain why what happened to them matters.
Hey, welcome back, folks. As we mentioned, southeastern Wisconsin doing some largemouth fishing today, and it's chilly. In mid-30s this morning, and we got glass calm conditions. So you want to start out with some slow-moving baits, and I know you love the jig and pig.
Yep, jig, the Uncle Josh number 11 pork frog. I love it when the water turns cold, John. I fish it all year, but I think you get extra bites and they hold on to it longer.
And another bait that you like is, this is a swim bait?
Yep. That's a swim bait. Tickle tail with the Google Eye jig, and reel that real slow, because they're getting on these bait fish, like we said. When the perch and the bluegills and the lake shiners start moving up on the flats, you can't beat a swim bait.
And a wacko worm is still a good bait this time of year?
When the water's in the 60s, you can still catch them on a wacko worm. And then I like to go to these type of jigs and paddle tails, especially when that water gets low 60s into the 50s.
Fish on.
Oh, look at that. Look at that. Blake is going to be the... Hey, Maddie B, does she have a fish or a weed? She knows the difference.
Yeah, it's a little pikey.
A little pike-a-rooty. No, that's the one thing, Maddie B, that we should point out.
That's a very little pike.
Now that is a beauty, Blake. But when you have these calm conditions and chilly weather, Matt, fall can be like a midday deal, huh?
Yeah, I mean, we didn't start super early, and it is usually a middle of the day or an afternoon bite typically once these fish come out of that kind of that shock of these first couple weeks of fall, right? I mean, they got to adjust.
Well, I got something back here, Matt, and I was doing exactly what you told me. Doesn't feel real big, but decent. Here he comes. And we got ourselves a
Pike. Nope.
Pike. There he is. All right, buddy. See you later, man. Whoa. Lost my shoe. There goes the Pike.
Hey.
Whoa.
The shoe went in before. Here, go get him the net.
There.
Before he falls in. Hang on, I'll get it.
Well, hey, things happen. You know. Okay, Matty B, save my shoe.
I got it, John. Oh, it's a big one. Look at this one, folks.
You're no heel. You got a lot of soul, man. No, hey, did you see what happened? I was trying to kick that little Pike back in.
That little Pike kicked you in.
Oh, that's interesting. I lost my shoe but got it back, and I think I got a bass on here, Matty B.
That's a start, John.
All right,
that's
buddy.
A start.
Here he comes. Oh, Matty B, there we go, buddy.
Not a bad fish.
Is actually a very, very nice largemouth bass. And I'll tell you, we talked a little bit, folks, about the type of baits that we're using right there, and that is a tickle tail, and that's that Pendu jig that I like so much. It goes up and down like this, and it gives that plastic just a little bit more action. And I was not steady retrieving that bait, Matt. What I was doing, you know how I like to work a jerk minnow? I was working it like a jerk minnow, but with shorter hops. Is that a good idea this time of year?
Yeah, John, especially on these fall mornings when it's cold, these fish get a little sluggish, usually in the morning, so short, quick hops like you said, and those fish will pin it right to the bottom. Nice blockhead.
That's right after mine, huh?
Yeah, this has some weight to it too.
Nice.
Seriously?
Yeah.
All right, just, you know how to keep pressure on them. What were you using there, Blake?
Just keep pressure.
The tickle tail.
The tickle tail? That's
And it's-
exactly what I got
Nice.
mine on.
That's a nice fish, it
And
looks like.
Steady
Google
retrieve, Blake? Steady
Nice
retrieve?
fish.
Yep,
There you
and
go.
that was right after your fish.
Yep.
I'm glad you got your shoe back, Dad.
That's a decent Pike.
Yeah.
Hey, Matty
Oh,
B,
yeah,
you
that's
got
a
him in
nice
the clam
fish.
there.
Those are fun to catch.
And
No,
the
but,
clam,
you know,
yeah.
oh, that's a nice fish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know, we talked about that at the top of the program, how these fish that might be in the deeper basins all year, or the deeper weed edges, they come up and use the reason they're up here is obviously food.
Oh yeah, I've been seeing just a ton of those 1 to 2 inch bluegills all over the place on the hummingbird, which right on these weed edges, and that's definitely what this fish and your bass that you just caught, same spot, so they're doing the same thing. They're
And
eating
that
these
was
small
on
bait.
what? The tickle tail
Yeah,
grub?
that's on the tickle tail with the Google Eye.
And that one thing I should mention about that bait is it's got great action, but it's so easy to use.
It's super easy. I mean, Blake's doing a steady, really slow retrieve through the weeds,
Yeah.
and you're doing a little pop and hop, so it's obviously both are working, so. Nice bass.
Nice bass right by the boat, Dad.
I saw it, Blake. I saw it.
Really? You
Yeah.
actually
That
saw him.
was so
Here he is.
weak.
Here he's
Yeah.
coming.
That was
I
awesome.
think.
He
Oh,
munched
yeah.
it. He munched the tail.
That is a dandy, Blake. Nicely done.
Thank you. Yeah, that
Wow.
was right by the boat.
She
We
choked
both
it. Look
saw
at that.
that.
You actually saw him bite?
Yeah, Matt and I were like, oh.
Yeah, you just look at that. You just sucked it right in.
Now that is interesting, folks. You know, we talked a
Nicely
lot
done.
about fishing up shallow. Actually, these fish in this cold front are sitting on the deeper weeds, aren't they?
Yeah, these fish are coming out of that 8 to 10 right on the edge of the weeds, and that's where every bite has come from.
Look at that.
Just munched it.
Hey, Matt, you know what? I'm really starting to think that's called a tickle tail.
Yep, 2.8 inch, 3.8 inch.
Tickle tail what?
Kalen's tickle tail swim bait.
That's a paddle tail or a
paddle
swim?
tail with those appendages down it, so it's kind of got a bug look, but it comes through like a minnow, and then we're fishing on the Google Eye swim bait head by the boat again. Look at that.
Yeah, that's.
Gosh, when they hit that, I love it. Look at that.
Now we should mention too, you know, you've been trying the jig and pig and the other baits, but they seem to want the swimming bait.
Yeah, they want a moving bait, and a tickle tail paddle tail is just, it's the answer. I mean, that's a perch pattern right there.
We
Just
should mention too
awesome
that
here.
as we get deeper into fall on a windy day, guys shouldn't be afraid to try spinner baits and jerk baits too,
Yeah,
right?
a lot of times as you get deeper in the fall, moving baits typically is what they're on. They're eating minnows, they're eating perch, they're eating bluegills.
But you want wind for those type of baits.
Yeah, you definitely want wind. If it's flat, then yes, that's when I'd pull it like the jig and pig and fish slow.
Oh, Matty B, look at the bend in that rod. This has got to be a pike. It's got to be a pike.
Might be a big old bass.
I don't know, Matt. I kind of had the head shakes like a pike. Okay, here he comes. Here he comes, buddy. Wow, fish has got some weight. Oh, what do we got there? Oh,
carp.
There we go. Here, hand him up to Matty B because he likes to hold those.
Carp? I don't want to hold a carp.
Look at that, Matty B.
He ate it. He ate it.
He did not.
Yep, he officially ate it.
Seriously?
Yeah, right in the mouth. He definitely swiped at it, John. Look at this.
Oh, yeah.
Did you see him? Wait, let me get him.
I knew, well, I thought it was a pike, you know, by the way it fell, you know?
Look at that. He swiped at it.
What do you think there, buddy?
Unbelievable. I haven't seen, this is first one on my boat all year, I think.
Well, that's the first one that I've caught all year.
Is it?
Ooh, Matty B, I hope it's not another carp. Boy, that system you taught me, buddy, is working good today. You
like
know
it,
that?
Huh?
And I'll show you folks how we're doing a little bit of different retrieve with this tickle tail, paddle tail, but it's effective. Ooh, nice fish here, Blake. I might need that net. Ooh, that's a nice bass right there. We go. Thank you,
Johnny.
Blake.
Nice fish.
That is a dandy right there.
Yep.
Yeah, and that, you know, another nice thing too, folks, about fishing in October is the pressure down here in southeastern Wisconsin is incredible. All these lakes in the summertime have the jet skis and the motorboats and the water skiers, and this time of year you really got everything to yourself. And again, that is on that tickle tail, paddle tail, the small version, and that's a solid bass anywhere you go, isn't it, Matt?
Yes,
really
it is.
I'm going to let him go after we take a picture. Let me show you the fall technique that Matty B and I were talking about with this tickle tail. I cast out on that weed edge today. That's where they seem to be, even though we were looking for shallow fish. But as soon as that hits the bottom, give it a little pop like that. Let it hit the bottom and give it a little pop like that. And a lot of times you are going to get weeds, but just keep doing them like that. Now, normally in the summertime, when I'm fishing a jerk minnow, it's more of like this. So just slow that popping down. And Matty B, that slow is that's what entices them, right?
Yeah, it's that little pop. I mean, you're only, like you said, John, here's the bait. You're popping it like 4 to 6 inches, and then it falls, and then it kind of swims down. Then you pop it, and then it swims down. And that just, they think it's injured. I mean, you're making it look like an injured fish on the bottom, and they're just crushing it.
Wait till you tell the folks about this one. This is interesting.
That was absolutely sick.
Oh, here he comes, too.
Oh, my gosh.
That's a nice bass.
That does not happen often,
Oh,
folks.
my gosh.
Look
at the size of that bass.
But the story, oh my
I know.
gosh.
That is a beautiful fish, Matty B.
Chain.
That is a gorgeous bass. No, I heard you. And Ryan was really quick getting that camera on. What happened?
Oh, so John, we're out here. We're out on the edge, 12 feet of water, and I got like 10 feet from the boat, and I burned it back, that tickle, as fast as possible. That fish chased at 100 miles an hour. I stopped it, and he just inhaled it right by my feet.
That's interesting.
Oh, was that cool?
And you know what? I'll tell you what, from being, 35 miles from the city and, only about an hour and a half from Chicago to get bass this size,
yeah, that's
pretty
a beautiful
cool,
fish.
you know?
I mean, that fish is over 3. Look how thick it is.
So
awesome.
you saw him hit.
In 12 feet of water. I mean, I burned it back, and bass usually don't follow like that. I mean, that's usually more pike and muskies will follow and hit by the boat, but he came so hard at that because he thought it was a fleeing bait fish, right? And I killed it, and he just munched it.
We were fishing the lakes of Waukesha County, a 1-hour drive from Milwaukee, 2 hours from Chicago, and 4.5 hours from Minneapolis.
Well, we had to go down a very dirty road today, and our boat got a bunch of sand, salt, and mud all over it, and that can cause permanent damage to our boat. But you have a solution.
We do have the solution. It's called the AquaJet Johnson Pump Washdown System, and it is the strongest PSI washdown in the industry. Without having to haul any power washers down, any hoses, hook up, you're using the lake water, filtering the lake water, leaving your boat completely sparkling clean.
You can use it on your pontoons, on your docks. It's so convenient.
It is easy.
So where can I get information on these washdown?
You can go to getjohnsonpump.com to find out all the information you need on how to get your Johnson Pump washdown system.
Wow, I can't wait to get Johnson pumped.
What's the difference between a good net and a great net? Simple. It's all in the features. Fortis nets by Clam Outdoors are tough, safe on fish, easy to use, and a telescoping handle. Learn more about Fortis nets at clamoutdoors.com.
The best anglers know that there's always more out there. So they're always looking for an edge. And when they hook up with us, they find it. The most advanced motors, shallow water anchors, and more. Now even more powerful and capable when you connect them with your Humminbird. When you fish with us, you fish for more.
Matt, just let that fish go. You just let that fish go.
Yes, I did.
If this is a bass, I know it's going to be decent size. It's not huge like the one you just caught. Okay, Blake, with the net there.
Nice.
Another
fish.
nice, beautiful fish. Well, I'll tell you what, folks, if you watch the show, you know I'm a huge, huge fan of the jerk minnow. But I'll tell you what, Matt, this paddle tail, I think actually gives you a little bit more action on the fall. That's a beauty right there. But as that thing's falling, that paddle tail is going, and that's very enticing. So yours was on a steady retrieve, and mine was on that twitch deal. But these are beautiful bass, folks. And that was right after your cast. And we should say that as we get later into October, these bass actually school up, don't they?
Yeah, they definitely do after turnover, because we're pre-turnover right now. So after turnover, which is usually late October, depends on what the weather does, all through November, they definitely group back up, and you can hit plenty of wolf packs out there on these late fall days. Pikey. Pike, you can just tell, 26, 27 incher.
Oh.
You can just tell the way they slash.
Oh yeah, that's a netter right there.
They eat that tickle and just crush it.
You know, that's one thing we should mention, that we're really kind of
24.
fortunate here in where we live down here in the southern part of Wisconsin. There's a lot of pike in our lakes, you know, and you and I have caught some big ones over the years.
Absolutely, we do. Open water and ice fishing, John. We 2.8 tickle.
Yeah, and if you're going to eat a pike, that is the perfect.
Most of our lakes in southern Wisconsin, John, are 26 inches. So I mean, those 26, 27s, I mean, you get really good five fillets off of one fish.
Yeah.
And now that this water's cold, now through winter, those are the fish to keep and eat.
Breaking news from Fleet Farm. Check out this deal. Save $20 on the Browning Command obsolete 20 trail camera, on sale for $79.99.
Oh, I love this new technique we've got here, folks. Oh, look at this guy. He's a fighter, Matt.
Awesome.
Not a real biggie, but there we go. I'm doing the old Matty Beef Bass Pro flip in there. You know, these are just nice, really average fish that we're catching today. But seriously, I'm going to be, now this comes in 2 different sizes too, right, Matt? This is which size is this? This is the 3-inch?
2.8, 3.8, and there's a 4.8.
And there's a 4.8.
Yep.
But again, folks, when that falls and on that Pendu jig, which swivels up and down, that gives it great action. I'm convinced that this works. Matty B, that's the very next cast, buddy. That was the very next cast. Wow. These bass are so much fun too in the fall. Ooh, look at that, Matt. I hope
Blake,
that's not a
net
pike.
that one?
Yeah, this is a netter, buddy. I got one of them to
dip
jump.
that one.
Ooh, Matty B. Matty B. Look at that guy.
Oh, that's a nice one.
Yeah, hand them up to Matty B. Let him hold that up. I mean, that's a beautiful fish right there. And
Oh, that's a big large one.
Isn't that gorgeous, buddy?
Beautiful. Just choke that tickle tail.
And again, you know, I kind of talked about it earlier. What a great time of year to fish when there's nobody out here on these lakes.
Yeah,
you know?
we got it all to ourselves. You gotta love fall time.
And we get into the cold month of like November coming up. Bass will still bite, huh?
All the way until ice up.
Seriously?
Yep.
And on a windy day, you know, you can go and cover water with fast-moving spinner baits, swim jigs, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I always say after turnover, you can move up on the flats and definitely catch those fish in the weeds on moving baits.
How big is that?
That's a 3.5. I mean, that thing is built like a tank. It's kind of built like my friend Andy.
It's now time to announce this week's winners of the Fleet Farm John Gillespie's Waters and Woods 2022 Fishing Contest.
Nick Arneson of Marathon caught this 46-inch northern pike in Ontario, Canada on a spoon. Ralph Hall of Slinger, Wisconsin caught this 32-inch walleye on Loch Sewell. He was using a jig and minnow. Mark Clements of La Crosse caught this beautiful 53-inch muskie on Lake St. Clair on a bucktail. Robert Camus of Milwaukee caught this 32-inch carp on the Milwaukee River. He was using a worm. And this week's kids winners are Carter Miller of Cronenwetter caught this 28-inch walleye on the Bay of Green Bay on a flicker shad, and Ben Sanger of Oostburg caught this 23-inch largemouth on Kelly Lake on a fathead.
Each week, I shop online at fleetfarm.com to check out the latest deals.
This week, the Max Sports stool with backrest is on sale for $24.99. And either the Primos, the long can trap, or Big Bucks bag hang tag on sale for $9.99.
What do you got there, Matty B?
Decent bass, John.
What a beautiful fall day, huh, buddy?
Oh, yeah. I mean, they're just... Oh, yeah, it's a good fish.
And I was actually kind of... Oh, yeah, that's a handy.
You said that looked tiny. My dad said that.
No, that's a nice one. But, you know what I was concerned about? You know, these high blue skies and this calm conditions, you know, usually make it tough. But that's kind of why you slid out to the deeper water, right?
It's literally, it's all about the edge right now. These fish still haven't quite moved up. But they're going to follow the bait. There's bait out deep right now, and there's bait shallow. But our bites are coming out on that edge.
And that was on?
That was on a swim jig with a 5-inch Kalen's grub. Back to the grub, Ryan's favorite.
Yeah, you know, one thing we should mention too, really seriously, we've tried the baits we showed, you know, the jig and the pork and the wacko worm, and they just want a slow-moving or twitch bait.
Yep, they really do. This one, I was fishing it slow. See that?
Yeah.
June bug grub.
Solid fish, buddy.
Fish. Oh yeah, hooked up, Johnny.
And I got
it's a nice one.
Oh yeah, that is, buddy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Again, right on that edge. Eat those little bluegills probably, right?
Oh yeah, look at that, just choked it.
So we had a period this morning, late morning, where we had caught probably a dozen fish in an hour.
Yes.
And we have gone through about an hour and a half now with that. That's the first good bass bite that we've had. And you see that a lot in the fall where there's biting windows.
Yeah, I think a lot of times when it's cold like that right away in the morning, it can be tough. You get a mid-morning bite and then you usually get an afternoon window. You usually get two.
But it's amazing how dead it's gotten, you know?
Oh yeah, no, these fish will should definitely fire up. I mean, hopefully that's a good sign, right?
Folks, my buddy Rusty is a huge fan of Johnsonville summer sausage. What do you like about it?
You know, John, they use premium cuts of pork, they use secret spices, and they cook it and blend it into the sausage before they stuff it, and then they smoke it and cook it just to perfection.
The good news is, buddy, you don't have to take that with you. We now have Johnsonville summer sausage snack sticks. Oh, yeah, man. Hey, folks, these are awesome for the boat. They're awesome in your car. They're awesome anywhere.
And you know what, John? It's hunting season. You can put them in your hunting pack and take them with you in the deer stand.
All right, well, you taste one and tell me. Isn't that awesome?
Perfection. It's just excellent.
Yeah, I'll give you a bunch for your hunting trips.
That would be awesome.
Yeah. Hey, folks, Johnsonville Summer Sausage Snack Sticks. Ask for them at your favorite retailer today. Now that's a bluegill that Blake just accidentally caught. And I'll tell you what, folks, when you find those small gills in the fall, you're going to find the bait or the bass, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, them small gills, a lot of them that were born this spring, I mean, they're 1, 2, 3 inches. I mean, that's what these fish are eating because they're gonna warm up. I mean, they're going to school up and these fish round them up and just attack them.
And you're seeing a lot of that bait on the deeper edge today for some reason.
Yeah, there's a ton of it in that 8, 10, 11 foot.
I think Blake has a northern pike on.
No, I don't know. It was right by the boat. It was right by the boat.
Smoked it, right?
Oh, that freaked me out.
Wow.
No, it's a nice bass.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my gosh, that is a nice fish. Good job, Blake.
Nice job.
It was kind of like yours.
Oh my gosh, that's beautiful fish.
It was kind of like yours earlier today when it like just came out of nowhere right by the boat.
Isn't that unbelievable?
Yeah.
When they're feeding, I mean, and they want it, they get it.
Yeah.
Well,
you can't reel it fast enough. They will track it down and eat it.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully this is the start of our second window because we were just creaming them this morning, as I said before, and it has been slow the last couple hours.
Yep.
But what do you do? Just hang in there, right?
Yeah, hang in, keep hitting your spots and wait for that next window. But
that was a cool hit, Blake.
Yeah.
What happened?
Awesome.
Were you just about to take it out, or?
No, I mean it was like, you know, a little bit right by the boat, but it really freaked me out as you guys all were like,
oh, it took off like a freight train when it ate it.
No,
Nice
but
job.
that was very exciting. Yeah, and I was just steady retrieving that bait because before we were doing the, you know, little tick, but I switched to steady retrieving because the weeds are higher, so that must be the trick.
Fun hit though, huh? With those
that
baits?
was wonderful. That was so cool.
For muskie and pike, Seaguar threadlock is my favorite braid. It's a 16-strand hollow core, very tight weave, very round, does not dig into the spool, amazing sensitivity and feel, and you literally will grow old waiting for this stuff to fray. The longevity is amazing. It's the absolute best braid I've ever used. For more information, seaguar.com.
Eagle Claw is the only hook made right here in the USA, and they also make this bass jigging kit. This Pro Series Bass Jig Kit includes everything you need for an avid bass angler, including an assortment of jigs for using different types of lures. This kit is very convenient for travel. To check out everything from Eagle Claw, go to eagleclaw.com.
On that 2-inch hyper hammer, look at that. This bait has 3 super unique features. The built-in glass rattle. It's a play off the Google Eye Jig series that's been phenomenal for open water walleyes, incorporating it now in a jigging minnow for ice fishing and open water. The brass slider, which is the hammer in the middle that slides back and forth, so you have a glass rattle and a hammer pin going back and forth, making 2 different types of unique noises. And then the third feature, which is the most unique, is a soft tail that rotates up and down to give it 2 different types of actions. And again, you can change out that tail to a whole bunch of different colors.
Oh, Pete, I'm getting too old for this.
So John, you haven't heard of Brian's Custom Steps?
Oh, Pete, those are awesome. How can I get a set?
Yeah, I love these big no-slip platforms, and they're made right here in Wisconsin.
For more information on Brian's Custom Steps, call 920-315-0333.
Well, hey, we caught some nice bass today. Do you have any other lake recommendations?
Yeah, I mean, all the lakes in southeastern Wisconsin are good. I go from Madison Chain down to Delavan and Lake Geneva, especially later in the year, like Lake Geneva can be really fun, and then move up to the Waukesha County lakes, and you can have a blast all the way up to Thanksgiving is what I like to tell people.
Well, thanks for an awesome day, buddy.
Yep, thank you.
And folks, that is our show for today. Please join us next week. I don't know where we're going to fish yet, but we'll find a place somewhere. Until then, I'm Blake Gillespie, hoping to see you enjoying John Gillespie's Waters and Woods.